So we've cleared the beds and I've kind of evened things out a little bit. We're ready to do the double digging. The tools that you need for this exercise are basically three things. You need a board that you can stand on. And the reason for that is I'm going to be putting this on the bed, and I don't really want to compact the bed unnecessarily. So by standing on the board, it helps me to, limit my impact on the bed. That's one of the golden rules of our garden beds, is we really never want to walk on them or step on them. We want to keep them nice and loose, good growing conditions for plants. We also need a shovel for digging, and then we will need a digging fork if you've got one. All right, so the way it works is I'm going to start at the beginning of the bed, and I'm going to have a wheelbarrow next to me, and I'm going to create my first open trench. So I'm going to take to a shovel's depth the soil from this open trench, and it'll all make sense when I'm done, but basically I'm putting all of this in this wheelbarrow right now, and I'll show you in a little bit where it's going to go. I'm going to go all the way to the edge, and I'm going to get out that first layer of soil, and that all goes in the wheelbarrow. So now I have about a fork's depth of all of that cleared out, and I'm going to work from the side a little bit. Now I'm going to get my fork in there, and I'm just going to fork that nice and loose. So just this little action of forking and loosening it up is really going to help loosen up your bed and really help those plants to grow in. If you had a little extra compost, you could also put some compost in the bottom while you're doing this forking, and it'll allow that compost to go deeper in there. That's not totally necessary, but it's something that you could do, and it would only help the situation. So, right now I've got a pretty loose garden depth of about 12 inches, if not more, which is really optimal. So now what's going to happen is I'm going to move my board back just a little bit, and now I'm going to basically take this soil and move it over, right? So I'm not going to flip it or invert it. I'm just going to try to move it into that open trench, right? And now I'm gonna fork this open trench. Again, I'm not turning the soil over. I'm just loosening it so those roots and water can grow down there really nice and easily. I'm gonna repeat again. This is the process. You open up your trench, you loosen it, you slide the top depth of my fork over on top, right? So I'm gonna do that again. Move it all over. Going all the way to the edge of the bed. Right, now I've got my new open trench. Get a little more of this soil out of there. Now I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna loosen it up. I'm gonna jump to the other side here. Remember, I'm not gonna step on the bed. Loosening it. Look how easy that fork is sliding in there. Nice, loose soil. Perfect conditions for growing our plants. You can see I'm always, if I'm standing on it, if I'm standing to the side, I'm not putting my foot directly on the garden bed. But I need my foot over here for some of these ones because it's just not good for my body to reach too far. So I'm using that board to hold my weight and not compact the bed. Hopefully this is making sense. I'm gonna come over here. Move that over. Right? Here's my open trench again. And what do? Do that nice loosening action. Right? And however long your bed is, this is what you're going to do for the whole bed. You could break it up into multi-days. If it's really too hard for you, you don't want to push your body too hard. Gardening should be fun. But when you do more of this and you get your beds in good condition, it starts to get more fun. It starts to get more easy. So you all remember that soil that we had in there from the first trench? Well, now I've got my open trench, and imagine we went all the way down the bed. At the end, we would have an open trench. That's where our soil from the first trench gets dumped back into. And then we are getting our shape of our bed back. All the soil that we started with is back in there. But look at this. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Don't you think your plants would be happy in that nice, loose soil? That's what we're going for. Now, remember, we've done this with this bed before. So if you've never done it before, it takes some work. And you'll get this response after a couple years of managing your garden beds really well, adding in compost, loosening them up, keep them nice and well taken care of, and then you'll start to get this type of finished product. And man, when I look at that, it looks so beautiful. Doesn't that look beautiful? Got good organic matter, it's nice and loose. If I was a plant, this is where I would want to live. Remember, our goal is to grow food in the city, and we know that all of you can do it. We want all of you growing your own groceries, and Soil Born is a resource in your community to help you do that. Have fun gardening.